What's up, everybody? Alright, so I'm making some different Skillshare courses, and what I want to show you is my workflow to, now that I've identified the next Skillshare course I'm going to create, what am I doing before I start actually making the course? So if we look at this thing, I'm doing this month of Skillshare, right? So each day I watch a YouTube video by somebody about Skillshare, right? So in this case, this is a video by like a well-known person talking about Skillshare. She doesn't actually have any courses or anything. Whereas in like the case of one of these videos, it is a video by a teacher who runs a smaller YouTube channel, but they have a following. Like 2,000 people is definitely a following, right? But she actually has a Skillshare course, right? And again, any video that's about Skillshare, it's on that list. And sorry, this is the music I'm listening to right now. This is from an anime called Mirai Nikki. So then we also have a list of Skillshare courses that I'm taking, right? And the idea here is, all right, I really want to make Skillshare courses. Like, I want to do that properly and take it really seriously because I really vibe with that lifestyle and what it allows me to learn and do. So I think that in order to really create good Skillshare courses, I have to be consuming a lot of Skillshare courses because the best way to learn is from other people. Just watch what other people who do what you want to do are doing and do as they do and think, you know, expose yourself to all these different things. But that's why these links exist. So now I've run through the first week and I published my first course. Although really, I had already made it, and I just had to revise it. But this was a more in-detailed course. It was about YouTube. So now I'm getting into the second week, and I'm going to need to publish my next course. So I want to start preparing for that. And I'm actually adding a series of videos to another spreadsheet that's separate of this monthly thing. And that's what we're going to be making in this video. It's like just a list of courses on Skillshare that are relevant to the course that I'm about to make. Because if I watch like 4 or 5 other courses about the subject that I want to make for my first new week, then I will make a better course when I make my course, and I have these 7 days to do it, right? So that is what that is, and I just need to make a new document. Okay. And now we're going to make a whole new tab thing over here, and we're going to go to Skillshare. And the subject of this course will be how to, oh my gosh, I haven't had my video enabled, guys. How odd. I didn't even notice that. I'm sorry. Huh, what a tragedy. So this course, ironically actually, is about using OBS, which is what you're seeing right now. So what I need to do is I need to identify all of the problems that people face when they're trying to learn how to use this software. I also need to better understand who is in the situation where they need to learn how to use OBS and what this person's lifestyle looks like, who this person is, and why they are using OBS, right? Because if I can understand this person, then I can make a proper course dedicated for people who need to know how to use OBS to stream. So in order to do that, I think the best way is for me to take a couple other OBS courses first. I feel really comfortable using OBS. I really like it. It's free and I really like vibe with it. So I know that I can teach it because I'm enthusiastic about it. So we can see that there is a video by Jerry Banfield. And Jerry Banfield is someone I want to learn more about. I relate to his style of content creation because he has so much energy and just creates loads of content. Like, it's ludicrous. And like, he was on Udemy and had like tons of courses. And it's interesting. You can find all the history about that on YouTube. He has tons of videos about it, but it's cool. But his course is 3.5 hours. Like, that's intense. I don't know if I want to take a 3.5 hour course, you know. I definitely want to, based on the way that I'm creating these courses and also the lifestyle I want to live, I want to be able to identify specific concepts that I can teach quickly. I really want to refrain from creating content that's as long as like the Udemy course, for example. Like if I go to, sorry, I'm clicking everywhere. I'm changing too much for you guys. Sorry. If I go to my Udemy profile, and I go to my Udemy courses, what I want to look at is see length of course, right? So I think we can look, actually, maybe I can search this way. Yeah, look at that. Okay, cool. So this course is 13.5 hours, and this course is 4.5. This is 1 hour, and this is 1.5. So I want to be making courses that teach specific subjects. The dropshipping course on Udemy that I have is like the complete opposite of that, because it teaches about dropshipping, but it does that by educating like loads of different things about dropshipping without really telling you exactly how to like open a dropshipping store. So that's not the kind of course that I want to make for these, at least for these first 4 courses that I'm making on Skillshare. I know that the key to becoming a successful instructor, at least on Skillshare, and also doing what I want to do in my lifestyle, is to get into the habit of creating courses. I'm in the habit of creating videos. Like, absolutely. I create videos all the time. I don't have to really think about it. It's part of how I deal with and cope with my life. It's not something that like I really have trouble putting off with, because I use video creation as a way to respond to the things that happen to me in life. So that always is happening. So there's always stuff for me to make videos about, and it's completely ingrained in my habit, right? So what I need to do now is to translate that over a bit into course creation, because course creation is where all the money is, like way, way more money based on time spent than making YouTube videos. But YouTube videos is how you create an audience, right? And like if it wasn't for YouTube, I wouldn't have this life. So it's almost like YouTube does everything except the direct payment of the money. That, I mean, you'll get some money from AdSense, but that direct earning the money part, that should come from something else, aka courses and Skillshare and Udemy, at least in my position. And I really am taking this seriously and thinking like, okay, how can I become the best possible Skillshare instructor that I could be? And I really need to get in this habit of regularly creating specific Skillshare courses, and I can make more in the future that are more in-depth, you know what I mean? But right now, I really want to focus on identifying specific subjects that I can study extensively and make shorter access to, right? So in this case, I really am focused on making sure that these courses are between 20 to 60 minutes. I'm just taking everything that Skillshare says and what they want about, like, they give you a lot of information about like what their opinion of a best course is and what features it has, and they make that so accessible that it's just like, it feels so easy for me to just be like, okay, I just need to do this, 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 and this, and remember that this is important, and I have to focus on getting students to create projects and engage and interact with the community. Like that's what Skillshare wants, and I understand that now. So okay, we have one course. I'm making just a list about OBS courses, right? So anything related to OBS, Mac OS X. Okay, so it thinks this is related, but it's not. This is related. How many results are there actually? There's only 18 results. So it's completely feasible. I can do all of the ones that are actually OBS, because a lot of these aren't. Here we go. OBS Studio, and 8 hours. Oh my gosh. 14 minutes. Yeah. I don't even know. I can't fathom an 8-hour course. I'm going to look at it, but I'm not going to take, that's 4 hours. I could take like 12 courses in that much time. And see, that's what's tricky about it too, because I'm sure that like it's 8 hours of useful information, but you have to be a damn good course to be more useful than like 8 separate 1-hour courses about your subject. Like, it becomes really, really hard to stay that relevant. And also, like, it's all about engagement and getting people to create things. So if the duration of the course is quick, you maintain more control of the perception of the student, because they will watch most of the videos in your course. Whereas if you have a much longer course, it can be a bit tricky because you don't necessarily know the perception of your student, because they could have watched section 1, 2, and 3, and 4, but not sections 8, 9, 7, 12, all these other ones, right? But maybe they actually skipped that and just watched like an hour in like the first, second, third of your course or something. Like, you have no idea what frame of mind they're coming from when it's a much longer course. And it can be a little bit tricky to kind of keep track of what your student may be thinking and what they may be going through. These are more reasons that I'm trying to focus on these shorter courses, right? So I'm going to go through this list and get rid of all the courses that are less than an hour, most likely. So this has nothing to do with OBS in the title, but it probably software I use to capture green screen. Is he talking about OBS here? Let's see. I'm just trying to find a frame. It's just like a presentation. I hate presentation courses. Oh, guys. I think that's just me being super picky, but okay. Well, nah, that's not relevant enough. It looks like he's actually using something else. Oh, hey. Is this the same guy? Interessante. Okay. Periscope producer, game show. Okay, game show is similar to OBS, but not the same. So there's not a whole lot here. All right. Now let's try and understand why are these long courses so long? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 6 courses here. So what we should do is organize them by length. So, okay, one of these courses is playing audio, and it's screwing with my mind. There it is. Thank you. Whoa, what? This is just one 14-minute... Okay, interesting. Interesting. Okay, so we have 3 hours and 36 minutes, 2 hours and 43 minutes, 14 minutes, 14 minutes, 8 hours, and also 58 minutes. Okay, so is that right? No. This looks right. Okay, now I'm playing every single one of these in my ear right now. It's really tripping me out. So let me pause all of them. There it is. Okay. So we have Jerry Banfield's course. This looks like, okay, Facebook gaming at FBGG, master live video production, studio setup, and OBS streaming. Okay, so it looks like this part, master live video production, studio setup, and OBS streaming. He's saying that this course teaches video production, studio setup, and using OBS. So that can explain a bit about its length, although wait, this isn't actually, that's the longer one. 8 hours, 3 hours, 2 hours. Okay, good, good, good. Okay, so let's look at, can I look at this in more detail? No, I don't think so. Interesting. So 24 students isn't super, that isn't really that many. So I wonder if the video length, like it, so that could indicate, because Jerry Banfield's relatively well known, at least that's my perception of him. Let's see, Jerry Banfield YouTube. I think he's got like a fairly big YouTube channel. Bum 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 bum. Yeah. Interessante. Okay. So it could also be that there's not that many people interested in OBS. There's a lot of different reasons. And again, I'm not trying to make like the perfect profitable Skillshare course at the moment. What I'm trying to do is get ingrained in the habit of course creation, because that is what will allow me to produce a very good Skillshare course that earns money. I have to get used to making a lot of them, right? So I'm not too worried about what subjects the courses that I'm making are in, because it doesn't really matter. What matters is that I am making a course, and then I make another course, and then I make another course. And the act of doing this is going to educate me about what that profitable, good, solid, reliable course looks like. But if I tried to just focus too much and make that course in the very beginning, well, one, probably it wouldn't work. I would create a course, I would care too much about the results, and I would get, like, numb. When really, I just need to keep making courses, keep making courses, keep making courses, and I will know exactly what to do, provided I keep making courses. So this is just me explaining to you why it doesn't really matter if a course that I'm making for this week challenge thing isn't super relevant and isn't going to get big and there isn't much demand for it. I'm not worried at all in any way about that, because that doesn't matter yet. But let's figure out. So he's talking about Facebook. Interesting. There's a lot of information here. Okay. I probably will watch this course. Just because 3 hours, that means if I watch it at double speed, then that's not that bad. I mean, that's still way more than most of the courses I'm watching, but 8 hours? That's going to be tricky. There's some long videos here. Holy crap. Wow. You know, I will say, you know, there's an argument that, like, you need to go really in detail to when you create these kind of courses. And this also teaches DaVinci Resolve, which explains its length. But I don't know if that's completely true, and I can show you an example of a company that does really well about that, and that's Wondershare Filmora. Like, one of the reasons that I like working with Wondershare, and I really wish Wondershare had an affiliate program, but they don't, which is really irritating, because, like, working with affiliation with software I actually use has been really good in the past, and I use Filmora all the time, but I haven't been able to get any kind of affiliate set up with them, which sucks. But one of my favorite things about it is just the ease of educating yourself about their software. Like, every time I've needed to look up something, there is a 2-minute video that shows me exactly how to do it. Like, Wondershare Filmora crop video. Just something basic, right? Okay, yeah. Like 2 minutes, 5 minutes. But these aren't... Okay, these aren't by Wondershare. They have an actual Filmora video editor. Is this the actual YouTube channel? I think so. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, see, these are a lot of short videos. This is the channel that I saw how to learn, like, reliably. Maybe it's not, actually. Maybe this is a different channel. Anyway, my point here is that it's a video editor, which is what this course is about, like DaVinci Resolve. And video editors tend to have a lot of features, you know, same thing with Photoshop. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to take a long time to explain all the different features. And that's something I really want to pay attention to with my course creation, is the amount of time it takes to address a certain subject. Like, I want to make sure that the courses can be used in a way where if somebody wants to know just this specific thing, they can easily find that in the course quickly, right? So, like, this is just things to pay attention to at the moment. But now we're getting... Is this the same guy? Christopher? Yeah, it is. Okay. So he has an 8-hour, 5-minute course on OBS and DaVinci Resolve. And then he has a 2-hour, 43-minute course just on OBS. So let's look at this guy's teaching profile. My philosophy in information technology and learning in general is that video learning is the best way to learn for yourself. I can provide the videos, but it's up to you as my student to absorb and practice the information to become a more educated and skilled person. If you want to get a taste of my approach to education and tutorial series, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Chris's Tutorials. Oh, it sounds like he's talking about just recording as you do. You know, I like a lot of my YouTube contents like that. But I think that's what he's getting at. Let's see. Chris's Tutorials. YouTube. Chris's Tutorials. Here we go. Interessante. Hey. 24,000. It's kind of weird. As a YouTuber, like, when you have an amount of subscribers, there's always a part of your brain that's like, more than me, less than me. And like, I don't like that part. I really don't. But whenever I have to acknowledge that when I'm looking at another YouTuber, when they are, like, the size of them kind of tells you how much they've put into it. Sort of, not always, but like you can find YouTube channels where there's hundreds and hundreds of videos and they only have like 3 subscribers. There's also channels that have like 2 videos that have like 20 million subscribers. Okay, not 20 million, that's like really high for YouTube, but like, you know, a couple million. So it's complicated. But what is this guy doing? Let's get a feel for him, because he is creating videos about what I'm going to create the first course on. So if I can understand his perspective a bit, that's going to allow me to create a better course myself, right? So call out title. What is he doing here? Blank fusion composition. I don't even know what that is. I have no idea. OBS video. Interessante. Complete guide. Oh, whoa! I'm just looking at the length of some of these now. 2 hours, an hour, 8 hours. Whoa! Oh, it's one course? Holy moly! What on earth? You know, I guess that makes sense. I've known for a while that you can have up to like a 15-hour video or something like that. I've never thought of just uploading like one course into one YouTube video. Like that's insane. Holy crap. Interesting. I would be wrecked if I put 8 hours into a video and it only got 200 views though. But this is pretty recent. Yeah. Oh, that's super recent actually. That's only 3 days old, yeah. No, that's not, you can't really know yet. Whoa, holy crap. He's producing content regularly at the moment. Let's see. So now let's sort by date added oldest. I like looking at the back of a YouTuber's channel. 4 years ago. Wow. His third video has 6,000 views. Interesting. These are all those short videos. So that brings an interesting point actually, because on YouTube, what I've noticed about shorter videos like this is that it is often easier to get higher retention and for the video to get more watches, but the longer your videos are, the more likely they are to get you subscribers. Whereas the shorter videos, like basically the people who are watching those videos are just getting what they needed and moving on with their lives because they just wanted to like get that specific thing. And you have to like really connect with them multiple times before they're actually going to subscribe to you. So most people aren't going to subscribe to you the first time, right? It's typical for YouTubers to have about like 40% of the people who watch their videos not be subscribed. I think it's like typical to have 40 to 60 subscribed, because mine's 50 and that's high, or at least compared to the other YouTubers. Like, I don't know, I'm getting sidetracked. So we're just learning a bit more about this guy. He's made a lot of videos and they seem to be all tutorial based. Does he show his face in his videos? Huh, I don't think so. Does he have any videos where he's showing his face? I can't really know from just the thumbnails, can I? Interessante. GIMP. Okay. Yeah, this is all like software stuff. Dang, he's made a lot of content. Holy moly. Looks very tutorial-y. I guess that's his thing. He does tutorials. Huh. Okay. So we understand his perspective a little bit more, and he's created 2 of the course that are in my research list. Christopher Navarre. Christopher Navarre. Interessante. Okay. Now we're going to this guy, Philip D. Campbell. Interesting. His course is an hour. Okay. This one's 14 minutes, and so is this one. And these are just individual videos. Okay. I feel like there's not a happy medium. Like, it goes from, like, 8 hours, super in detailed, 3 hours, super in detailed, almost 3 hours, an hour, 14 minutes, 14 minutes. Which is funny because, like, okay, this is great. One second. Skillshare recommended course length. I'm just trying to find Skillshare stating their here we go, class guidelines, here we are. Length. Huh. Okay. Let's go to the different link. Length. Class publishing checklist, here we go, this is what we want. Length. Where's the document? Whatever. All right, well, okay. What I'm trying to communicate to you guys is Skillshare says 20 to 60 minutes, which is really hilarious in this case because 14 minutes is less than 20 and 58 minutes is right at the edge of 60, right? So it's kind of funny that in this specific example of courses I pulled up, none of the courses except one are the recommended, like they don't even fit in the recommended range window, which is really interesting. Just something to think about. So now what I should do, because I can't watch these courses on this video, but what I can do is further research to show you guys what this whole process is like. And what that is going to be is me comparing the descriptions of the courses. And that's all that I'm going to do before, well, actually, I will save them as one list, and then I'm going to go through that later. But for the moment, we're going to compare. Hey, it's this guy again. Whoa, he has the short course too? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa. I'm so confused. And this. Wait, so he has 5 of these courses? No, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Very interesting. This guy knows about OBS. All right. Well, let's scroll down to the descriptions of each. Now let's compare some things. Let's compare what it looks like from this end. So, supposedly, Skillshare promotes based on engagement. If you produce courses where higher amounts of students are engaging and posting projects, Skillshare will supposedly market these courses. So what I need to do is focus on figuring out how to get people to engage, right? What's interesting, I'm already noticing, comparing these different courses, is not a single one here has a project posted. Which would mean that, kind of, from Skillshare's perspective, there's no reason for them to promote any of these courses. So if I can really pay attention and try and understand why projects aren't being created, a lot of the time, I mean, it's probably just with the amount of students. Like, you'll find that a lot of big courses have like a 1% rate. Some courses have like a 10% rate or something. But it varies a lot. So it's kind of hard to gauge. Like, if you compare reviews to projects participated in, then like I've seen it be 1% on like major Skillshare courses. But that having some projects, especially in the beginning, I think is quite important, because to Skillshare it indicates like, okay, this is it. This instructor is getting a reaction, because Skillshare knows how hard it is to get that actual reaction out of the students. So when they are posting these projects, that is a really good way for Skillshare to be like, okay, hey, this is different. Something's about this, right? So let's read some descriptions. This course is a full overview of two of the top tools for recording, streaming, and editing videos. You will learn to set up OBS to record or stream games, webcams, and screencasts. In DaVinci Resolve, we can move over to video editing. There you'll edit raw footage into quality clips and videos, add in special effects, transitions, and titles. Resolve is very powerful though, so towards the end we will also cover advanced topics like changing color selectively in your scenes, creating custom animations through keyframing, and blurring out faces with tracking. Free out of the box. Okay. One review. And what's the project? Because really that's what I need to understand. Because before we read these projects, I'm going to tell you something that I've observed in Skillshare, and that's that instructors don't take the project part seriously. But Skillshare seems to be communicating that they want you to take it seriously. A lot of instructors will just be like, okay, the project is to just do the thing in the title of the video that it teaches you to do. They don't actively have video content showing people what submitting the project to Skillshare looks like, what sharing it looks like, and reminding the student to do that. So that's something I really want to make sure that I'm doing in my courses. Maybe, you know, that's just how I feel at the moment. Maybe that'll change, but let's see. So, project description. By the end of this class, you should be able to record a video and edit it. If you follow along the course, you should be able to add in titles, transitions, visual color effects, keyframe animations. I recommend recording your first video in MP4 format, since that has the best compatibility with other software and decent compression size as well. Whether you stream your content to Twitch TV or YouTube before editing, it is entirely up to you. Okay. So if we create the project, okay. So this seems to be an indication that a project isn't worked into the core of this course. What Skillshare wants is for, like, by doing the course, you also create something that you can share with the community. Skillshare wants engagement. It wants students who are participating and feel some kind of connection that has inspired them to share. So I really have to focus on this and really try and understand it. And try and also understand how to get more engagement in my courses, right? About this class. Okay, what is the project? Will you please do a live gaming stream practicing what we teach in this class and publish a picture of the post after the stream has concluded with a link to your Facebook page, because this will help you get connected with all of us, ? That doesn't sound like, that's not a very confident project description. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. Lots of detail here. Wear a costume. There's a lot of information in these courses. I don't need it to be that informed. Like, what I need to identify is the settings that are in OBS and the ones that are relevant and the ones that aren't relevant to people, because there's going to be both, right? Let's move on to the next project. Your project. I'd love to hear about how you're doing your streaming. Have you started yet? What is your show about? How often do you do it? What are the challenges? What's the purpose? Drop me a little note on your show and maybe a photo of your setup. Ooh, okay. That's a little bit more actionable right here. So one of the things Skillshare talks about in their like documentation and stuff is that your projects should be created in a way where the student will share and interact with the community before even completing the project. So you should be able to create projects and participate in your project in a way that gets posts without you necessarily completing the project. So Skillshare basically says that you should make your project in a way that allows students to share them starting the project, them in the middle of the project, them in the end of the project, their end result, and their thoughts throughout the process. So this is a bit more enabling for that, because here it's like it can be quite intimidating. These two courses are essentially like post us your live stream. And unfortunately, like with any kind of course like this, most of the people watching are just interested. They aren't going to do the thing in the course. The amount of people who acquire the information and then also follow through is quite unusual. And like in my case right now with this month of Skillshare, I'm absolutely somebody who's just acquiring information and not following through. Like I create the projects to learn, but I'm not like actually, like I did a course about Instagram. I'm not trying to run an Instagram, right? I'm just trying to learn about it, right? And that's how most students are. They're just trying to learn. They aren't necessarily trying to learn to incorporate. Maybe that's what they want, but that isn't necessarily what's happening, right? So what's quite obvious about these two is that they're like, okay, you're going to be able to create this live stream and share that, but right off the bat that means that the vast majority of your students have to participate in the project. They have to finish your course, which the vast majority of people aren't going to do. So this is a bit more interesting because he literally asks, have you started it yet? Like that kind of proposes, okay, I'm gonna post and say no or yes or whatever. Like at least that's possible, whereas in these project descriptions it's more about like actively doing the whole thing, right? So also asking questions like this is closer to what Skillshare wants, at least based on my perception, right? Which obviously is my own perception. I just started on Skillshare recently. So I also like this here because he says to drop him a note about his show, a link, and to send a photo of the setup. That's something that's easy, is to be like, okay, you're starting this now. Show us what your basic setup is. Like maybe that's what I could do in my course, because like my YouTube channel kind of formed with the knowledge that like getting the great equipment and stuff, that really doesn't matter. That's not what stops you from making videos. You're either making videos or you're not making videos. Your equipment like kind of matters, but there's so many people who will be like, oh, I'm gonna buy this thing, and that doesn't mean that you're gonna do the habit. Doing the habit is what makes it, like, once you've been doing the habit, then you can justify putting money into it, because you know, I've already gone through the part where I'm proving to myself that I'm going to do it. I've been doing it. It's ingrained. Of course I can get like better video equipment, that kind of thing, right? So you just have to be careful about like what you're thinking about and how you're going about it. But I could do something like that where I make a project where the point of the project is to be like, this is the shit I'm starting with, you know what I mean? Like to keep it really casual, make sure that people feel encouraged to share the fact that they don't have the best equipment or anything, right? Like that could be an interesting angle. Just something to think about. So what about these? Whoa. Okay. See if you can create a new scene, add sources, and prepare for recording following the instructions in the video or above. Be sure to do a test run before doing the real recording. Check for good audio and video quality. If there are issues, go back and double check your settings to fix them. And this one has reviews, which is interesting. 1 review, 1 review, no reviews, 1 review. So his 2-minute course has 2 reviews, or his 14-minute courses have the most reviews. And the good review is, this video answered every question I had about the topic in a very short amount of time. It was condensed but precise, and I will revisit it whenever. Interesting. Interessante. Okay, so what does his project say? That's right. Follow the instructions. Yeah, it's funny because what these courses are teaching is, it is relatively simple. Like the software that I'm using right now, it's not complicated. If you knew the right buttons to click on, you could download this and like be streaming and recording within like a minute. It's not complicated, so it's just a matter of like having the experience and being able to simplify it and understand where your students are coming from, right? But it looks like in these cases there aren't that many students, but there are some, like, from Skillshare perspective, these courses aren't necessarily ideal. Their projects aren't well formed and ingrained in the course. Essentially, okay, here's the easiest way to tell if the project is ideal or not. The course and the project should coincide. So as you're going through the course, the project is talked about and you show your student exactly how to do everything that they need to, including the part where you share the project. Because when you're new to Skillshare, if you've never shared a project before, it feels reasonably intimidating. And by just saying, like, okay, just share it, just do it, you're not identifying with the fact that your student likely feel they maybe want to share their project, but they feel like it's not, they don't know how to, or they have something that they're telling themselves that means it's too hard, or they're not good enough, or anything like that. And this is the mentality that you got to kind of work with as an instructor, is understanding, like, how do you relate your project to what your student's currently going through, and how do you understand what your student is feeling and where they're coming from. And so, yeah, the way to identify it is, like, you can tell that all of these projects are created kind of separately from the course. Like, these two ones are outright, like, this course is going to teach you how to live stream, so your project is to create a live stream. Like, it's very much like, as an instructor, we just create the course, and then we're just like, okay, we're going to just put the project, you know, they can do that thing. But let's see what happens if we really listen to Skillshare and do what they tell us. They've been very upfront in their communication. After I reached out, you know, I felt, it's funny because in the beginning I published a course and then it got taken down, and I got a strike on like day 2, and I was like, dang, I didn't know I couldn't do that. Like, that didn't seem very obvious to me. But I never emailed them, and I just published a course. Like, now I understand, oh, you can just email them and they're going to watch your entire course and tell you if anything's wrong with it, so that you can publish it without getting in trouble, or at least be way less likely to get in trouble, right? You can defend yourself. I just didn't know how to defend myself in the beginning, and I, like, went too quickly, basically. But as long as you communicate with Skillshare, they're great about this. All right, guys, so now we've done with our research. I've established that I want to take these courses. I'm not going to take these long ones, but I will watch a little bit of them. So I'm going to study a little bit of every course. So what we need to do now is record all of these links. Actually, let's do one more pass. I used only one keyword to try and identify the OBS courses, and I just searched OBS, but it actually stands for Open Broadcaster Software. So if we search for this, This comes up, and I think this is using OBS. Yeah, okay, perfect. Here we go. Here's another, oh no. Wait, Christopher Navarre? He has so many OBS courses. There's another one? How did I miss this? Oh, I didn't miss this. This is this one. Okay. For some reason, I didn't recognize the 2-hour, 45-minute length. Learning C+. Okay, so it looks like doing this found us one more course. But this course is within parameters. Check out that video length, 32. Your courses are actually supposed to have an introduction and stuff too, which is interesting. A lot of these courses that we're looking at not violate, but they don't, there's a lot of like things that Skillshare tells you that they don't have, right? This was actually the most within recommendation course because it's 20 to 60 minutes. It has an introduction. Most of its videos are between 2 and 6 minutes. This is like literally what Skillshare wants. So let's look a little bit more at this person. See if we can gauge a bit about their history. What other courses do they have? They have 4 courses, 19 minutes, 44 minutes. These two courses seem to be quite popular. Relatively, like 38 students, 49 students. You can see that like this course has 24 students. This one, I don't think it even shows how many students it has. Yeah, 62 students, 377. So I think this is the biggest course. This 2-hour course is the biggest course of these OBS courses that I'm looking at. 73 students, 33 students. Interesting. So let's see this 40-minute course she has. Hey, it's got a project. Look at that. So what I'm trying to learn is common metrics, because I know that, okay, there's an amount of students, there's an amount of reviews, there's an amount of projects submitted. So comparing these metrics can help you understand how a video is performing on Skillshare. So what I need to do is expose myself to a lot of these metrics, like be like, okay, this is this course. Maybe I should make a spreadsheet about that. That'd be kind of cool. I could try and see if there's patterns. I could track Skillshare courses that way. That'd be a thing for later, though. Okay, that's a research tab. So is this. Don't need that. We just need the one course, which is here now, right? Yep. Okay. So now we're going to open our Session Buddy tab. We're going to save this current window as OBS research. And now we are going to export, copy, and go into our Google Sheet document. And actually, instead of this, we're going to make a new column called, I'm just going to have, this is going to be my Skillshare document. So this is my month of Skillshare that I'm doing now. But since I already have this document open, let's just make lists of courses. So OBS research, and then boom. Okay. So whenever I do any of these courses, I will highlight them. And then once I've finished engaging with all these courses and I've watched some of them, I'm not going to finish all of them because they're too long. But then I'll be in a position where I can start learning. And you can see here that, so today is day 7. It's actually day 6 right now. So I'm still within the first course week. That's what these colors mean. They're like, that's how my brain knows, okay, I've published this course, and I was able to publish it early because I pretty much already made it. So I'm going to need to be more diligent and start preparing ahead of time because I have to publish the next course by this date. So that means that I'm here right now. So I'm ahead of schedule by starting to prepare before that week. Because technically it's like I'm supposed to be working on each course for 1 week, right? And again, I don't know what I'm going to do for this week or for this week. And that's kind of intimidating. But I need to identify specific things that I can make a 20 to 60 minute course about. So I can do that. I know how to do other things. One example is actually how to paint skateboard grip tape. And that's just because whenever I post photos of that on Facebook, they get a lot of likes and stuff. So it's like, okay, people have some kind of interest in grip tape. And I feel confident in that because I don't have much artistic ability, but I know some like mathematics. And like there's a basic 1, 2, 3 pattern. And you can just say, okay, your skateboard has four screws in each side. You're going to draw a little circle, a bigger circle, a really big circle, and then a circle so big that it doesn't even fit on your board. You just get the edges. Okay, now you're going to do that around each screw that's already there. You don't need to have any opinion on where to put it. You just draw a circle. And the circle's crappy at first, and you just keep making it bigger and making it a bit more circular looking, you know? It's great. Because my hands shake a lot, so, because I don't know, that's just always been a thing. So whenever I'm drawing, I've always been unable to draw like straight lines and like curvy lines. But with the way that you paint a skateboard, you can be wiggly, and then you just kind of fill it in over and over again and make it bolder. And by making it bolder, you can add into each side and correct it. So like the style of creating it incorporates not being a good artist into making it. So I'm really confident in being able to teach that. But anyway, I'm ranting too much, guys. Now you understand, you see what I'm doing. This is how I am working. This is like my work. Yeah. All right, guys. Ciao.